Hello, this is Jeff Morgan. You are listening to an authorized audio version of the Galactic Federation. If this kind of material is interesting to you and you'd like to continue, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can also find my other books on Amazon Kindle. Thank you for listening.
Chapter 8: Earth as a Frontier, Draconian Influence and the Human Struggle. Introduction: Earth's hidden status as a galactic frontier. Earth has long been regarded by its inhabitants as a singular world, isolated in the vast emptiness of space, orbiting an ordinary star at the edge of an unremarkable galaxy. Yet beyond this familiar narrative lies a far more complex and concealed truth. Earth is not merely a solitary planet, adrift in cosmic insignificance. It is, in fact, a frontier world of immense strategic value, positioned within a vast and ancient struggle that extends far beyond the boundaries of human awareness. What makes Earth so significant is not simply its position or physical resources, but its extraordinary potential as a nexus of genetic, energetic, and consciousness-based evolution. Beneath the visible landscapes and oceans lies a repository of unparalleled biodiversity, a genetic archive coveted by numerous galactic factions. Earth's genetic diversity is not a product of random evolution alone, but the result of deliberate seeding and manipulation across eons by off-world civilizations. The richness of life found here holds keys to biological resilience, adaptability, and energetic potential that extend far beyond what current human science comprehends. Beyond biology, Earth also possesses profound energetic resources. The planet's intricate grid of ley lines, energetic vortices, and electromagnetic anomalies form a complex web that resonates far beyond the material plane. These subtle energy systems, though largely unrecognized within mainstream human understanding, are of critical importance to those factions capable of perceiving and utilizing them. The planet's energy fields influence not only the stability of physical life, but the evolution of consciousness itself. It is this convergence of genetics, energy, and the latent potential for conscious awakening that positions Earth as a focal point within a hidden galactic contest. Among the key players in this struggle are the Draconian Empire and the Orion Syndicate, forces long associated with control, manipulation, and the suppression of sovereignty across countless worlds. Opposing their agenda, though often unseen and operating with profound restraint, stands the Galactic Federation. This alliance of civilizations is committed to preserving planetary sovereignty and nurturing the authentic, organic evolution of species such as humanity. Yet Earth's predicament is not new. It reflects a cosmic pattern that has played out across the stars, where emerging civilizations become the arena for a deeper battle between forces aligned with either control or liberation. The true history of Earth, its hidden value, and the forces vying for influence upon it remain largely concealed beneath the veil of forgetting. But as that veil thins, humanity edges closer to confronting the reality of its status not as an isolated anomaly, but as a contested frontier in a much larger galactic unfolding. Earth's genetic and energetic significance. Among the countless planets scattered across the galaxy, Earth possesses a rare and coveted distinction. Its astonishing biodiversity is not merely the outcome of organic evolution, but the result of deliberate cultivation by multiple off-world civilizations. Throughout its history, Earth has served as a living genetic reservoir, a planetary library containing the biological blueprints of species from distant worlds. The incredible variety of life found in Earth's oceans, forests, and ecosystems is a direct reflection of this intervention, making the planet an invaluable resource to galactic factions with an interest in genetics, biological adaptability, and evolutionary experimentation. Nowhere is this more evident than in the human genome itself. Contrary to the assumption that human beings are a purely terrestrial species, the truth is far more complex. The human genetic code is a mosaic, a carefully engineered composite that carries within it the imprints of ancient galactic lineages. These genetic contributions, drawn from civilizations far beyond Earth, have imbued humanity with remarkable adaptability and a unique latent potential for conscious evolution. Within human DNA lie dormant faculties that, when fully activated, can restore a connection to higher states of awareness and allow for abilities long dismissed as myth or superstition. In addition to its genetic value, Earth is rich in energetic resources that are no less significant to galactic observers. The planet is crisscrossed by an intricate web of energy lines, commonly known as ley lines, which form the foundation of a global energetic grid. These lines intersect at powerful nodes, many of which have been recognized since ancient times as sites of profound spiritual and energetic significance. Structures such as pyramids, stone circles, and other ancient monuments were not placed arbitrarily. They were constructed with a sophisticated understanding of Earth's energy system, designed to harness, amplify, and direct subtle energetic currents for the benefit of both individuals and the planet as a whole. These energetic structures once served as gateways for knowledge, healing, and alignment with the greater cosmic order. However, they have also been subject to manipulation. Throughout history, both human and non-human factions have sought to distort or control Earth's energy systems to serve their own agendas. In recent times, modern technologies have been introduced that further influence these fields, often without the awareness of the general population. The manipulation of Earth's energetic grid is a subtle but powerful method of reinforcing control, suppressing consciousness, and limiting access to the innate capabilities hidden within the human form. Understanding Earth's genetic and energetic significance is essential to comprehending why this planet occupies such a central position in galactic affairs. It is not only a world of remarkable natural beauty, but a strategic asset in the hidden struggle between those who seek to preserve humanity's potential and those who aim to exploit it. The genetic legacy and energetic architecture of Earth together create the conditions for either profound awakening or enduring subjugation, depending on how humanity chooses to engage with its own hidden inheritance. Historical interventions, genetic manipulation, and cultural engineering. The history of Earth is far more complex than the conventional timelines recorded in textbooks and religious scriptures suggest. Behind the familiar human story lies a hidden narrative of deliberate intervention by off-world groups, both benevolent and malevolent, who have shaped the biological and cultural development of the planet for their own purposes. These interventions stretch back thousands of years, predating recorded history, and their influence can still be felt in the fabric of human civilization today. One of the most significant forms of intervention has been genetic in nature. Long before modern science began unraveling the mysteries of DNA, advanced extraterrestrial groups were manipulating the human genome to influence the evolutionary path of the species. Some of these groups, aligned with the principles of conscious evolution, contributed genetic material intended to enhance human potential, facilitating spiritual growth, intuitive abilities, and expanded consciousness. These benevolent interventions were designed to support humanity's gradual remembrance of its galactic heritage and its innate connection to the greater cosmic network. In stark contrast, other groups, particularly those associated with the Draconian Empire and their Orion Syndicate counterparts, pursued a more insidious agenda. Through covert hybridization programs, these factions sought to modify the human genetic blueprint in ways that reinforced limitation and dependency. By enhancing certain biological traits while suppressing others, they created conditions that made human beings more susceptible to fear, manipulation, and hierarchical control. These genetic alterations did not erase humanity's latent potential entirely, but buried it beneath layers of biological and psychological constraints that would require immense effort to overcome. The impact of these ancient interventions is not confined to the laboratory or the unseen manipulation of DNA. They are woven into the mythological and cultural records of nearly every civilization on Earth. Stories of gods descending from the heavens, of beings with advanced knowledge and supernatural power echo throughout ancient texts, oral traditions, and sacred architecture. These figures, often deified or demonized, were not figments of human imagination but distorted memories of encounters with advanced extraterrestrial beings. Their influence, whether through guidance or exploitation, left an enduring imprint on human culture. Cultural and institutional engineering has further reinforced the boundaries imposed by these early interventions. Religious systems, often rooted in fragments of genuine contact experiences, were shaped over time to instill separation, fear, and dependency. Rather than empowering individuals to explore their own connection to the cosmos, these systems frequently positioned divine authority as external and unattainable, accessible only through hierarchical intermediaries. Social structures and educational systems similarly evolved to discourage critical inquiry and suppress knowledge that might lead to the reclamation of sovereignty and latent abilities. In the modern era, the echoes of these ancient manipulations persist, though they have taken new forms. Societal structures, belief systems, and technologies continue to reflect and reinforce fragmentation. The widespread emphasis on materialism, competition, and fear-based governance serves to keep humanity focused on external distractions rather than the inner work necessary for awakening. Meanwhile, technologies with the potential to liberate consciousness are often co-opted or suppressed, while those that further entrench surveillance and dependency are aggressively promoted. This layered history of genetic manipulation and cultural engineering has left humanity in a state of profound confusion and limitation. Yet the original blueprint remains intact beneath these imposed constraints. The human species still carries within it the seeds of extraordinary potential, waiting for the moment when the veil of forgetting begins to lift and the opportunity arises to reclaim its true place within the galactic community. The Orion Syndicate, human collaborators, and the cartel of central banks. The influence of the Orion Syndicate over Earth is subtle yet deeply entrenched, operating not through overt invasion but through covert manipulation that extends into nearly every aspect of human civilization. As an extension of the Draconian Empire's agenda, the Syndicate has perfected the art of control through infiltration, secrecy, and the exploitation of human systems. Their aim is not conquest in the traditional sense, but the quiet, systematic steering of humanity's development along a path of dependency, limitation, and ultimately subjugation. One of the most effective avenues through which this control has been established is the global financial system, particularly the network of central banks that dictate the flow of currency, credit, and economic influence across the planet. These institutions, while appearing to be neutral or nationally governed, are in truth overseen by a tightly controlled cartel. Behind this cartel exists a more complex and hidden alliance, one that reaches beyond human power structures into the realm of hyperdimensional entities. These beings, operating beyond the limits of human perception, are aligned with the Orion Syndicate and serve as the architects of manipulation that transcend the visible world. Through their influence over the central banking system, these hyperdimensional entities, working in concert with human collaborators, have constructed a financial reality designed to maintain planetary enslavement. The mechanisms are as elegant as they are oppressive. Artificial scarcity, debt slavery, inflationary cycles, and financial crises are not the inevitable byproducts of economics, but deliberate tools engineered to keep populations disempowered and distracted. Nations may appear to possess sovereignty, yet their ability to act independently is largely dictated by the whims of these hidden financial architects. This alliance between hyperdimensional manipulators and human collaborators extends beyond banking. It permeates politics, technological development, global media, and the cultural narratives that shape public perception. Many of the most influential individuals and institutions on Earth serve, whether knowingly or unwittingly, the interests of this interwoven control structure. Some operate with full awareness of the agenda, driven by promises of wealth, power, or protection. Others, less consciously aligned, perpetuate systems that appear beneficial on the surface, but in reality deepen humanity's fragmentation and dependency. Even the movement toward public disclosure regarding extraterrestrial life has not escaped this manipulation. The Orion Syndicate and its human collaborators have seeded the discourse with controlled narratives, offering partial truths distorted by fear or false hope. Carefully crafted stories of imminent salvation or catastrophic invasion serve only to distract from the deeper reality of humanity's entrapment within financial, technological, and energetic control grids. These false awakenings pacify curiosity while reinforcing the illusion that external forces, rather than human sovereignty, will determine the future. At the heart of this complex system is the simple but devastating truth that Earth's destiny is being shaped by an invisible alliance. Hyperdimensional beings, hidden behind the veil of perception, and their terrestrial agents have constructed a reality that appears inescapable. Yet their power ultimately depends on secrecy, manipulation, and the continued forgetting of humanity's true origins and latent potential. As awareness grows, so too does the opportunity to dismantle these carefully engineered systems and reclaim the sovereignty that was never truly lost, only buried beneath layers of control. The layers of control: psychological, technological, energetic. The control exerted over humanity is neither simple nor singular. It operates through an intricate web of interconnected mechanisms that affect every level of human experience, shaping perception, behavior, and even the unseen energetic environment in which life unfolds. These layers of control are designed to be so pervasive and normalized that most people remain unaware of their influence. The system does not rely on physical chains or overt domination, but on subtle manipulations that collectively reinforce a profound illusion of limitation. At the most immediate level is psychological manipulation. This form of control targets the mind, using fear as its primary tool. From an early age, human beings are conditioned to operate within boundaries defined by insecurity, scarcity, and the expectation of threat. Cultural narratives, media programming, and institutional structures all contribute to the reinforcement of fear, whether through the constant projection of conflict, the anticipation of disaster, or the amplification of human division. Manufactured crises, whether political, economic, or environmental, serve to keep the population in a state of heightened anxiety, diverting attention from deeper inquiries into the nature of reality. Division is cultivated relentlessly, fragmenting societies along lines of race, class, belief, and ideology. This fragmentation weakens unity, making individuals more susceptible to external control and less capable of recognizing their shared interests and inherent interconnectedness. Beyond the psychological lies the technological layer of control, which has expanded dramatically in recent decades. Advanced surveillance systems monitor movement, behavior, and even thought patterns under the guise of security and convenience. Devices that humans willingly carry and integrate into their daily lives have become sophisticated tools for gathering data, predicting behavior, and shaping perception. In more concealed domains, research into neural manipulation is progressing in ways that directly interface with the human brain, with the potential to influence thought, emotion, and even belief structures. Artificial intelligence is rapidly evolving beyond its advertised functions, becoming an integrated component of the broader control mechanism. Through its algorithms, AI shapes information flow, limits exposure to alternative perspectives, and amplifies narratives aligned with the agenda of restriction and dependency. The deepest and often least understood layer of control is energetic in nature. The human experience does not occur in isolation from the energetic fields that permeate the planet. Earth's natural energy grids, ley lines, and frequency fields are vital to the health, awareness, and evolution of consciousness. Yet these energetic structures have been deliberately manipulated to suppress the natural vibrational environment necessary for human awakening. Frequency manipulation, whether through subtle technologies or more overt energetic interference, disrupts the resonance fields that support clarity, intuition, and connection to higher states of being. Grid distortion weakens the planetary energy networks, making it more difficult for individuals to access the latent spiritual faculties encoded within them. The consequence is a collective environment in which spiritual disempowerment becomes normalized and individuals are cut off from the innate energetic pathways that facilitate remembrance and conscious evolution. Together, these layers form a comprehensive system that reinforces the illusion of limitation at every level of life. From the beliefs individuals hold about themselves and their world, to the technologies they adopt, to the very energetic environment in which they exist, the structure of control is designed to perpetuate the forgetting of humanity's true nature and potential. Yet, like all systems built on distortion, this structure is neither permanent nor infallible. The growing awareness of these layers is the first step toward dismantling them and reclaiming the sovereignty that lies dormant within every human being. Cracks in the system, signs of awakening and resistance. For all the complexity and apparent strength of the control structures imposed upon Earth, the system is far from unbreakable. In recent decades, and with increasing intensity in the present moment, clear signs have emerged that its foundations are weakening. The rigid architecture of psychological manipulation, technological control, and energetic suppression is beginning to fracture under the pressure of human awakening. Despite the vast resources and long-standing influence of the Orion Syndicate, their grip on humanity is slipping, and it is becoming increasingly evident that their greatest vulnerability lies in the one thing they cannot fully control: human consciousness. The awakening process is not a coordinated revolution in the traditional sense. It unfolds quietly, often unnoticed by mainstream institutions, yet its impact reverberates through every layer of society. Individuals around the world are reclaiming their sovereignty in ways both subtle and profound. Through practices such as energy work, meditation, and the cultivation of intuitive awareness, people are reconnecting to the deeper energetic currents that have long been suppressed. This return to internal authority is dismantling the illusion that truth can only be found through external validation or institutional approval. Critical questioning has also become a powerful tool of resistance. Increasingly, individuals are refusing to accept the carefully constructed narratives that dominate mainstream discourse. From the origins of human civilization to the nature of reality itself, people are probing beyond the surface, uncovering hidden knowledge that challenges the engineered perception of limitation. This resurgence of inquiry is eroding the psychological barriers that have kept humanity confined within the narrow parameters established by the control system. Alongside personal awakening, cultural resistance is taking shape in decentralized and organic ways. Alternative knowledge is spreading at an unprecedented rate, bypassing the traditional gatekeepers of information. Independent researchers, spiritual communities, and grassroots movements are contributing to a global awakening that defies the centralized control once maintained by media conglomerates and institutional authorities. These decentralized movements are not easily contained or dismantled, as they do not rely on singular leadership or rigid hierarchies, but instead thrive on shared knowledge and authentic connection. The Galactic Federation, though operating with great restraint to honor humanity's free will, continues to offer subtle support to these emerging cracks in the control grid. Their interventions are not grand gestures, but carefully calibrated energetic adjustments, moments of synchronicity, and quiet encouragement offered to those ready to perceive them. By stabilizing planetary energy grids, protecting key individuals, and amplifying the signals of awakening, the Federation provides unseen but vital assistance to humanity's journey toward remembrance. What makes this process irreversible is the control system's fundamental reliance on secrecy. The entire structure depends on remaining hidden, on suppressing awareness, and on perpetuating ignorance. As more people awaken to the true nature of their reality and the forces that have shaped it, the veil of secrecy thins, and with it, the effectiveness of manipulation declines. Exposure is inevitable, for no system built on deception can endure the sustained light of awareness. The cracks in the system are not isolated events, but signals of a profound shift already underway. A reminder that even the most intricate structures of control cannot contain the innate drive of consciousness to evolve, remember, and reclaim its place within the greater galactic unfolding. Earth at a crossroads, the struggle for sovereignty. Earth now stands at a pivotal threshold, not only in terms of its social and political systems, but as a conscious, living entity moving toward a moment of profound decision. The planet itself is more than a collection of land, oceans, and atmosphere. It is a complex, intelligent consciousness in its own right, one that holds within it the accumulated energy, memory, and evolutionary potential of all life that resides upon it. As this planetary consciousness approaches a tipping point, the human species finds itself facing a decisive struggle that transcends the visible challenges of governance, economics, and global conflict. At its core, the struggle humanity now faces is neither strictly physical nor purely political. Though wars, social unrest, and institutional breakdown dominate the headlines, these are merely surface expressions of a much deeper, more consequential battle. The real conflict is energetic and spiritual in nature, playing out across unseen fields of influence that shape the human experience from the inside out. It is a struggle for sovereignty, not only over territory and resources, but over perception, belief, and ultimately, the trajectory of human awakening. This hidden war is not fought with armies or weapons in the conventional sense. It unfolds through the manipulation of ideas, the distortion of truth, and the subtle steering of collective awareness. The outcome depends not on external saviors or powerful leaders, but on the choices made by individuals and communities willing to question, to awaken, and to step beyond the illusions that have long defined life on this planet. Yet, even within the deeply compromised structures of global governance, cracks are beginning to form. A small but significant number of political leaders have emerged who are quietly chipping away at the mechanisms of control from within the system itself. These individuals, though often vilified or marginalized by mainstream narratives, are challenging the entrenched institutions of global influence, exposing corruption, and dismantling aspects of the machinery designed to suppress human sovereignty. Their efforts alone cannot dismantle the entire system, but they represent a critical catalyst within a larger movement toward awakening. By operating from positions of influence inside the very structures built to enforce control, these leaders disrupt the illusion of total powerlessness and provide tangible proof that resistance is not only possible, but already underway. Their actions, however small they may seem in the vast complexity of global affairs, send ripples through the collective consciousness, encouraging others to question, to resist, and to reclaim their role in shaping humanity's future. Throughout this process, the Galactic Federation observes carefully, offering protection where necessary to preserve the possibility of genuine awakening. Yet they do so without imposition, respecting the fundamental principle that true evolution must arise from within. They understand that forced liberation is not liberation at all, and that the only meaningful transformation is one born of conscious choice. Their presence is quiet but unwavering, holding space for humanity to find its own path through this period of uncertainty. Earth's crossroads is not a moment marked by dramatic declarations or cosmic interventions. It is unfolding quietly within the hearts and minds of individuals and in the courageous actions of those working to reform corrupted systems from within. This choice belongs to humanity alone. The struggle for sovereignty is not only a test of endurance, but a profound opportunity to determine the future of life on Earth and its place within the wider cosmic family. Conclusion: the hidden hand is vulnerable. Despite the apparent vastness and complexity of the control systems that have shaped life on Earth for generations, their foundations are beginning to fracture under the steady pressure of awakening. The structures of psychological manipulation, technological influence, and energetic suppression have been meticulously crafted over centuries, yet they were never indestructible. Their strength has always relied on secrecy, deception, and humanity's willingness to accept limitation as truth. As more individuals remember their true nature and reject these imposed constraints, the hidden hand that has long steered the course of human civilization is being exposed for what it truly is. The Draconian Empire, with its formidable networks of influence and its strategic alliance with the Orion Syndicate, remains a persistent force within this planetary drama. Yet even their reach is not absolute. The illusion of their invincibility is beginning to crumble as fractures emerge within their operations, revealing that no empire, no matter how ancient or technologically advanced, is immune to the consequences of collective awakening. Their hold on Earth, once maintained with near total control, is being tested by the very force they fear most, the irreversible expansion of human consciousness. Earth continues to exist as a contested frontier, its unique resources and evolutionary potential drawing the attention of multiple galactic factions. Yet destiny is not fixed. This planet is not fated for conquest, nor is its future a foregone conclusion determined solely by external powers. The outcome depends entirely on the remembrance, sovereignty, and conscious choice of humanity itself. As individuals awaken to their true origins, reclaim their energetic sovereignty, and dissolve the illusions of separation, the balance of power begins to shift. The struggle is far from over, but the trajectory is no longer fully in the hands of those who sought to control it from the shadows. What lies ahead is not only a deeper unraveling of the old systems, but a revelation of the fractures within the very factions that have played both sides of this hidden war. The Orion Syndicate, for all its influence, is not immune to internal dissent. Even within the Galactic Federation's ranks, there exist complexities and divisions that challenge the purity of their mission. These emerging fractures will shape the next stage of Earth's unfolding, revealing that in this vast galactic drama, no side remains untouched by uncertainty or change. The following chapter will explore these hidden fractures in detail, offering a clearer understanding of the vulnerabilities not only within the control structure, but within the resistance itself. It is within these cracks that both danger and opportunity reside, and it is there that humanity's next great choice will be made.
This concludes this section of the Galactic Federation. The next section will be available here on my channel. If you'd like to support this work, please like the video and subscribe for future releases. Also, my other books are available on Amazon Kindle. Thank you for listening.